the Game of Life podcast coming at you, where we bring to you the behind-the-scenes lives of NBA players, business-savvy entrepreneurs, and top-level performers in all fields of personal development. The podcast that helps you become the best version of you. The Game of Life, David Nurse. Here we go.
We'll talk about Klay a little bit.
Yeah.
First time we got in the gym, we had literally our gym was full of like these young kids. Like it was all our pack program and our amateur players. Like he ended up being a few minutes late. And we had a whole bunch of our program players in there, and like the gym is crazy. And this is an NBA All-Star, multiple time NBA All-Star. This is somebody who's, one of the best, if not the best shooter in the league. And, he's coming into a gym with a bunch of my players, a bunch of ASICS employees that are just hanging out and watching. And you talk about somebody who just loves his time around being around people, comes in, says what's up to the people, is constantly, the kids will shoot around during his water breaks. He's going to go over there and joke around with the kids. And like, I absolutely love when I deal with, high character and people who just enjoy people's company.
Game of Lifers, how are we doing? So blessed to be back here for another episode of the Game of Life podcast. Thank you for joining on this week. You have a special gift. The best, the world's top NBA trainer coming at you right here. And is there anyone out there that can say Klay Thompson and Carmelo Anthony come to me to learn? Yeah, that's our guest. Our guest today is that guy. That guy and so many more reasons than just his brilliance on the basketball court, helping some of the best NBA players reach their full potential. As great as he is, as whom I told you is the world's top NBA trainer, in my opinion, he's an even better person. His energy for life, his passion for every day, his mission that he is on, his love for his family, for the Lord, and just his true, genuine, super fun attitude to be around is like an infectious plague. An infectious plague that we need spreading to every single corner of the globe. Game of Lifers, please kindly welcome Mr. Jordan Lawley to the podcast. And in this episode, we dive deep into what the true definition of success is, why lasting relationships are way more important than any basketball drill you can ever do, how to grow a business and a brand while not being consumed by the comparison game and the look at me ego game, how knowing yourself is the first step to understanding what your passion truly is, daily routines and habits that make Jordan the best of the best at what he does, why Klay Thompson and Carmelo Anthony come to him to learn, and what hardly anyone knows about these two NBA superstars and who they truly are. And of course, some hot seat rapid fire questions that will leave you dying laughing right alongside both of us. So Game of Lifers, grab your seatbelts, strap up, because you are in for a ride. Here we go. J Law, what's up, baby?
What's going on, baby?
Hey, talk to me. What makes you you? So one thing I really respect about you and why I'm so drawn to you and love you like a brother is because you don't care what anyone else thinks. You're going to be you, and you're going to love every single moment of doing it. Same with me. That's why I'm wearing this goofy headband.
Yeah, man, there's such a huge component to it. There's so many people that are worried about what other people think, what other people are doing. And that's one thing that we try to talk about, like, especially when we're running a business. You can only control the control. Like, you got to control the controllable. Nice. So I can't worry about or focus on what other people are doing. So like when we operate in the gym, both from a lifestyle perspective and from a business perspective, we're enjoying every second that we're in there, with the gym. If we say something that's goofy or off the wall, like, you know me, I'm a passionate guy and I love to have fun, enjoy myself. And that's part of our MO with the guys that we get into the gym. Like, we want to showcase to them that we're passionate for what we do. And there's a business side to it, but there's also something that all connects us, and that's our love for the game. So something that we don't want to just, overplay or overshadow, try to be too cool for it. We really just love every second that we get an opportunity to be in front of these people.
Man, that's what I love too. Like the energy when I'm around you. Like I'll just step in the gym and I'll get super juiced up. But I think to that point, That's why a lot of players are attracted to working with you. Because you get some of the best players to come work with you. Some of the best players, some of the best NBA players are going to say, hey, Jay, I want to work with you. I want you to teach me. I want you to coach me. Because of your passion, because you're showing them how much you care, how much you love them. Like, that's what I found out doing it, too. It's not about the drills that you run. It's about the passion and the care and the genuine you being you, putting it into them.
Yeah. I think then that's such a great point. Like, when your clients can realize or like literally visually see that you're invested in them, then it becomes like a much deeper thing than just the drills that you're doing. And a lot of people will lose that focus, and they'll see, okay, I want this to be about the transaction rather than transformation. And I want this to be about, the actual content that I'm creating, not just the connection that I'm having with these individuals. And like, whereas we think, the adverse way, we think this is about the connection. I want to really talk and involve myself and learn these people. And this is about their development and growth, not just about, what we're making off of their session or the amount of engagement that we're grabbing from these videos. Like, there's so much more, to it from a connection level, from a relationship level.
Relationship level. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. And that's why we do what we do at the end of the day, being the relationship. Yeah. And one thing I love too is how, you're so committed, you're so passionate to helping players into the basketball world, but at the end of the day, it's your relationship with your family, your love for your wife, your kids, and your love for God comes way before any of that, which is so admirable, man. Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because we're going through, like, right now, we're going through a devotional series, through Rick Warren. And I know I get the David Nurse devotionals. Like, I get 3 devotionals every day. And I always watch or always read. And we're a huge component of it is like being able to use your resources for God's grace and for God's goodness. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing, like, you have to be able to know kind of the avenue that you're in. You have to be confident with what the gifts that God has given you. And that's how you are used, and not everybody. And like I told you before, like, my great grandpa said, Jordan, you're going to be a preacher one day. You're going to be a pastor. And I thought, like, man, you're crazy. Like, there's no way, I'm getting in front of Church of God of Prophecy, where everybody's speaking in tongues and running down the pews like hellfire and brimstone. And I'm going to be a pastor. Like, there's no way. Like, I don't see myself doing that. And in essence, this is what, God's main purpose is, to give each and every one of us a gift, and then us being able to use that gift for his, likeness, for his goodness. And, we found, like, both yourself, like, you do a phenomenal job of making sure that he's always first and that everybody sees, his light through you. And, like, that's one thing that I've always respected about you. And that's what immediately attracted me to you, is that you know who you are as a person and as a Christian and as a human being. And that is what defines you. It's not the basketball side that defines you. The basketball is that light, and that lamp, that lamp that, that we can see his light through. And I love that about you, man. I feed off of that.
All right. Welcome back to the Game of Life podcast. We've got Jeremy Lin on. Jeremy, what's going on?
The 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why.
He's like the eye of the hurricane, because in the middle of the hurricane, it's really calm. And so Michael never tried to stop all the madness around him. What he learned was he just got calm in the middle of it.
Stealing that pass at Staples, I was like, dude.
Yeah. Give Kobe a little glance after that. What's up?
You want to be that person that when they walk into a room, that people are happy to see you.
Talk to me about working with Ronaldo. You helped coach Ronaldo to become a great sleeper.
A human test tube. Thank you, man. I think that's like one notch up from being a human guinea pig. They'll take it.
In a good way.
And I just pray, man. Like, I just pray and I just thank God for everything.
The moment you realized, man, I'm in the NBA.
Oh, man, that was from day one. That was the day I got drafted, when I heard my name being called.
Buckle up, the Game of Life podcast coming at you, where we bring to you the behind-the-scenes lives of NBA players, business-savvy entrepreneurs, and top-level performers in all fields of personal development. The podcast that helps you become the best version of you.
Yes.
I feed off of that.
I'm just glad you see my name every morning in your inbox. So it's at some point in your morning, whether you read it or not, you're thinking of me. I come across your brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I get one 2 days late, just saying like, yo, it's been crazy. I'm out in Australia or I'm out in China or Japan. Sorry for being delayed. Then I know you come top of my mind. I haven't unsubscribed yet.
Beautiful. Man, but I love that because you talk about being a preacher, but it's the platform you're given. It doesn't necessarily have to be the black and white platform that everybody sees, but you use that platform. And I've been around you a lot, and it's never that you're saying, hey, you're actually standing up there saying it. It's you're showing it through your actions, it's showing it who you are, it's showing through your consistency, man. I don't know what drug you take or how much coffee you drink, man, but your energy levels. There it is. I think I have high energy. Oh, I got my whole man.
Hey, okay.
Wait, we got this going here.
Yes, I know, homie. I hate you. That's one thing that is despised about you is your just highest level of just amazing coffee drinking. Like you are top notch, connoisseur status.
Very
but one
snobby,
thing, I'm gonna I know, very snobby. Like little kind of side note. Did you know they're selling blue bottle coffee at like Ralph's?
Stop. Are they?
Dead serious. They're selling it in like little bottles, like little like cans and like milk glasses.
The New Orleans Ice.
Unbelievable.
I think. Yeah.
New Orleans Ice. Yes.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So
that's the spot. So that's
Didn't know that at all.
Neither here nor there.
Didn't know that at all. But I'm gonna bring it here and there. So here's what I like. I like it because people are getting to use it, getting to touch it a little bit more. But I lose a little respect for it. I don't want it to be all over the place. I don't want to be
mainstream.
Gosh, don't be Starbucks. You got to be you.
Sick.
Go the other way.
I know.
Forget you, blue
You're
bottle.
sick right now.
Yeah, I am. I really am. Man, all right. So in this industry that we're in here, in this industry of, okay, we have to build our own personal brand, build our company, because obviously we have to make a living doing it. It's our choice and our passion that we're following. The hardest part that I have come across is the comparison game. Like the comparison game and the look at me type of game. Talk about how it is balancing, because you do a great job of it, how it is balancing okay, I need to build up my personal brand, but it's also, it's not about me.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the biggest items that people struggle with, especially people that are looking to build more of that clout because you have something more to establish. So like when I was starting off, like it became a lot of, a me game where I have to showcase what I'm doing and I have to showcase what girls I'm doing and in order to attract the youth. And now I've been more, now a lot of my stuff is more about like, look at who we train and this is what we do. And, so I've made it more of a collective we. And I'm trying to get out of that, whole centralized or internalized focus. But you have to be aware of the content that you're creating. And I feel like if you can focus on developing each player or each client, people are going to see that level of consistency. They're going to see like the content and the stuff that you're doing with your clients, versus like constantly focusing on whatever, like we talked about, trying to worry about what everybody else thinks or what everybody else says. If you can internalize, for the beginning stages and be like, this is what I need to focus on in order to develop my players, in order to develop the best product for myself as possible, then it's going to be a lot easier to sell that product and, sell your brand to others. But a lot of people have that reciprocal, mindset where it's like, I got to focus on what everybody else wants. Yeah. So that way I can, lead or push my brand. And what happens is they end up changing who they are throughout multiple stages of their brand identity and throughout their business model. And this is just going to cause so much collapse and chaos from the foundation of their business. And it's going to hurt them so much more in the end because they're going to have to refigure out who they are. So I love talking business, talking strategy about that, because it's so important to choose a lane for your business and, write that mission statement and realize who you are as a person and as a trainer. And then from there, you can help build that brand while focusing on building each player that you're involved with.
Gosh, that is so good. Can I literally sign you as my business consultant?
Let's go.
Please, I'm going into public speaking. I need someone to help me along the business growth of it. So come on.
Let me be your wingman. I'll be in the background, just hype man.
Hype man.
I'll walk in.
Let's go.
Headband, hood up. Give me some
I'm on
music.
the MC.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm there.
No, that's a really, really good point, because you'll see it in this industry, in any industry, really. Like, people just going for quick wins and quick, like, get rich quick or look at me schemes. They're always going to burn out, but it's the ones that stay true to themselves, the ones that know who they are and what they stand for. Whether it's, I mean, maybe you go through 2 or 3 years of not in our business getting the best players or whatever it might be, but you know over time that you're doing it for the right reasons and that you're doing it. And people are going to know you and come to you. So that's really cool.
And that's a huge thing, is like when you learn how to not burn bridges and to establish, great relationships, it becomes a lot easier for people like you and I, like other people in your industry. Like if you can look at other people, other trainers as, not as comparisons, but as compliments, you'll have an opportunity to earn their respect and then possibly get other clients that are, they weren't going to work out with you, but you got the referral from one of your competitors.
Yeah.
Like there's so many trainers in this industry, but there are also so many opportunities for trainers to work together to establish larger goals, larger relationships, and to help each other out. And like, that's something that not too many people want, in their lives, because they think that everybody's just competing and they need to be better than so-and-so. And they got to make sure that they're putting better content out than so-and-so and they're doing better drills. And that's not, what it's about. It's not what it's about at all.
Yeah. And it's just going to steal your joy, and it's just going to literally drive you insane. I mean,
yes. Like, you can play a comparison. Hey, you can play the comparison game every day and you're going to lose every day.
And nobody that ever did anything great was someone like who was looking at other people and trying to bring them down. Like no great author is going to go on Amazon and say, hey, this guy's book sucks, don't read his book. I mean, it's not about that. It's just, like you said, the relationships and cultivating the great relationships with great people, like-minded people. I just wish you didn't live 19 hours away down in Southern California or down in Orange County.
Well, homie, are you kidding me? What are you? It's 19 hours away, but it's like 30 miles.
I know. I'm going to start walking. I think I got a better option that way.
Walking, yeah.
All right, let's dive into some players here, guys. So we're both at the point, too, where we have our who we are. People know who we are as far as, like, this is why I want to work with either one of us. But so we're able to have that luxury of working with the guys that we want. And the guys that I see you working with are all great character, high level overall people, which is the most important thing. So give me some cool stories or interesting stories that come to your mind about working with players or working with a selected player. I know it's kind of broad.
No,
what do you got?
Honestly, right off the bat, I would probably say
great cup of coffee. One thing that me and J-Law of many agree on, coffee is crucial. And our sponsor today, Chimera Coffee. What is Chimera Coffee? It's a nootropic-filled coffee, great tasting, straight from 5,000 feet altitude mountains deep in the Dominican Republic. So I know the guys from Chimera. They've been on this podcast. And even better than the awesome tasting coffee that they produce with high-level nootropics to get you cognitively in the zone, an enhancement in coffee that stands for more than just coffee because of who these guys are. I'm not drinking this coffee just because of its taste and its ultimate 1%erness. I'm drinking it because of who they are as well. Chimera Coffee, get your game on and become legendary. You can get 10% off at checkout with your freshly roasted beans if you enter the code NURSE at chimeracoffee.com. Check it all out in the show links. Get your coffee on in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, whenever you want. Coffee is always a great option. Chimera coming at you. And now, back to the second half of the podcast with Jordan Lawley. Grab another cup of coffee and let's go.
We'll talk about Klay a little bit.
Yeah.
Like first time we got in the gym, we had literally our gym was full of like these young kids. Like it was all our pack program and our amateur players. Like he ended up being a few minutes late. And we had a whole bunch of our program players in there, and like the gym is crazy. And it's NBA All-Star, multiple-time NBA All-Star. This is somebody who's, one of the best, if not the best shooter in the league. And, he's coming into a gym with a bunch of my players, a bunch of ASICS employees that are just hanging out and watching. And you talk about somebody who just loves his time around being around people, comes in, says what's up to the people, is constantly, the kids will shoot around during his water breaks. He's going to go over there and joke around with the kids. And I absolutely love when I deal with, high character and people who just enjoy people's company, not big timers, just enjoy people's company, even when they are big time. And after that first session, Klay had literally something that made my, heart grow like the Grinch. It was the fact that he said, that was great work, but I just loved how much passion, how much fun you have when you're on the court. People want to be around people like that.
Yeah.
And that's a huge testament to a lot of what we do is we just enjoy our time. And with, when passion, passion will fuel growth, and growth will eventually equate to success. So if you continue to, drive or lead with that passion, consistent growth will come from it. And I love the fact that he, had those things, amazing things to say. And just for being a great sport, when he could have easily just said, nah, man, let's stop. And then there's other people too. I know this one's a hot topic right now and he's getting a lot of shade, but Melo is one of the best individuals that I've gotten in front of. And this is somebody that I've emulated, all my jab stuff out of. And I feel 100% confident and comfortable doing jab work. And I pretty much stole everything from him, from his game. And I'm over here running a session, and talking to him, and he's engaging in eye contact with me. He's, asking questions and stirring up this, having a conversation with the things that I'm, saying, and he's accepting things, really saying, yeah, I got it, copy, let's go. I like that. Those are the things that, you look at the numbers, you look at the data, you look at the career, and it's you have no business listening to, to me, little 6'3" white guy who's never played a second in the league. But the amount of respect that, that Carmelo has for people, was absolutely amazing. And he enjoyed, we enjoyed our time, together, our brief time together over the summer. And those are the things that people don't really get to see, but they just make a huge impact. And you realize that, it's one of those things. It's easy to get shell shocked with, with people and seeing their clout, but it's even easier once you get that glimpse or that ounce of respect back to realize that they're just people. They're people in your same position who love the same sport and who have these common interests that you can talk to.
Man, that's so cool on so many levels. Many levels on, first of all, Klay just being the guy that he is. And I've seen that with players. Yeah. Exactly.
And you've worked with him, so I mean, you've gotten him in the gym and you know exactly who he is.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's such a great guy.
The coolest thing with him was, too, I don't know him. And he was in there and we just got to talking and stuff. And I mentioned your name. He got super juiced up. He's like, that's my guy. Anybody, you know what, not to pump you up, but anybody that I talk to that knows you or has worked with you, they're just yeah, that's my guy. That's cool. That makes you smile. That's what makes us feel good, Because it's that what we put it in. No one has ever said, and I hope no one's ever said this about me, man, that dude does some really good pick and roll splitting work. I'm who cares, But to see Klay like that, and like you said, with Carmelo wanting to be taught, he could just come in there and be man, I got $250 million in my name, all stars, all that. But the best ones want to be taught. They want to learn. This summer, I grew up with Kyle Korver in the same town, in a little small town, Pella, Iowa. So he comes down here and we get some work in, and one of the Klay, one of the greatest shooters of all time. And I'm just Kyle, what do you want to do? Let's do something. He's you tell me. Teach me something. Wanting to actively learn. I didn't teach him anything. I was just keep doing what you're doing, man. You're doing a great job. Do that again. But it's cool to have that and to realize that these guys are coming to you because they want to learn, because they put their trust in you. But that's because you put the care, you put the genuine passion and the love into them first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime, have you ever had any situation where it was just went all kind of craziness, Because I'm sure you have. I know you have. And yeah, me.
Come on now.
I know. Me and you always have like 8 zillion different things going on. One thing I love doing though, like to this point now, I like going to any situation, like having really no idea what's going on, and then just acting like I know it and have it all.
Homie, that is the best, especially when it's in a different country and you show up. There's like 300 kids with 6 basketballs, and you're like, well. Exactly. What are we going to do?
But it's great.
Make it work.
It's great, too. I just got back from Europe and all over the place, and like anything you say to them, they just eat up and it's gold.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Well, especially like, and that's another thing, too, like when you figure out who you are, it's so easy to be able to communicate and be able to adapt and overcome like those certain situations.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, with our time left, I got to throw you on the hot seat. Rapid fire questions.
Let's go.
They can be one answer, whatever it is. Okay, have you ever had a Mount Everest in your life? Something that just so daunting that you know you have to overcome. Don't want to do it, but when you overcome it, you know it's, man, I can do anything. Something when you were little, something. We've never played one-on-one, so you don't know. I mean, that's not
my Mount Everest. Mm-mm. Nice try. That's not my Mount Everest.
It's your Death Valley.
That's my Death. Honestly, yeah. I feel like we're going through a little Mount Everest right now. Mm-hmm. Our gym is going to be closing its doors at the end of 2019, and we're trying to find a new facility. Someplace here in Orange County, Southern California. And that's been like the biggest daunting thing. And it's literally been on our minds and on our plates for the past, 4 months, probably 4 months or so. And we're praying about it. We continue to, try not to stress about it because it's not in our hands, but we still got to take some control. And that's been a huge Mount Everest. Yep. We haven't overcome it yet, but we're still climbing, but it's something that we're going through right now. So, yeah, I'd say that's a huge, it's the biggest Mount Everest that we've had.
For sure, and you will overcome it. And on God's timing and in the faith you put in, you will overcome it, man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Not our will.
Yes, yep. Mottos you live by? Any sayings, any words, any phrases? Anything you got like that?
Passion. Yep, passion fuels growth, and growth equates to success.
Boom! Stealing that. That's now mine. Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay, if you had to give 3 keys, think about 3 keys, like 3 things that you do through your day, like a routine, like a habit, like a life hack, like a me drinking bone broth or something like that. What are your 3 J-Law things that's going to make you live the optimal day?
Okay, first off, I'm not a 2%er. I'm a 2%er, not a 1%er. So if you guys want the real life hacks, you got to be following my guy David Nurse. But if you want to be a 2%er, listen, it's about establishing, like for me, it's getting into what internalizes me or what makes me me. So I'll have, my daily action or daily devotion that I read. Beautiful. That kind of gets me settled in my mornings or settled throughout my day. From there, it's coffee, and then the third one is more coffee. So, once I have those 3 things, then I know it's going to be a solid outing.
I love it, man. I like going back and forth with you when you got your burnt crumbs. Stuff.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, burnt crumbs would probably be a toss up between more coffee and burnt crumbs. Yeah.
I will try it someday. I vow to try it.
You have to.
Just for you.
You have to.
Okay.
Please.
All right, how about this one? You could say burnt crumbs for the answer with this one. You're picking 3 people. I know these are tough questions, but that's all we bring here. 3 people, dead or alive, that you want at your burnt crumbs dinner table. And what are you cooking? What are you bringing food? You can bring burnt crumbs or you can bring something else. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on here.
Okay, no. So my 3 people are Danielle, my wife, and Parker, my son.
Yes, I'm already there, so you don't have to pick me. Okay, all right.
Let's go. One more. Sorry, man. You missed the cut by like 7.
Top 10 though.
For my dinner, I'm making strudels. It's a German dish. Yeah. It's pretty much grilled dough with like onions, gravy, unbelievable. So like my family grew up Ukrainian, German food, flashkila, perehe. And strudels is one of my top tier dishes. So we actually do that for Thanksgiving. Instead of doing like a standard just turkey, we'll have strudels, turkey, and all the other additional foods. So we're having strudels for dinner.
Sweet. I love that. You left somebody else out there, but it's for family first, so it's all family. Just two people and family. Okay. You know what? 2 things on that.
Oh, wait. We're supposed to be 3 extra people? I thought I was the third.
I mean, you're there. It's your dinner table. That's okay.
Yeah, well, we got a baby on the way, so that'll be the third.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I'll sit in for that seat. Okay. I was just in Germany. Number one. I love it. Respect it that you go through your country's heritage and have that for Thanksgiving. Awesome. Number 2, I was just in Germany. The food is not that good. All they do is eat schnitzels over there. All they do is eat schnitzels. Give me a schnitzel. I don't want no more schnitzels.
Mouth. Watch your mouth. Dough is the best. Give me dough.
Dough and burnt crumbs, man. Okay, I can't have it. All right.
It's 2%ers, baby. 2%. It's 2% life.
You're like the 99%, the other 99. Okay. This is how we finish it off, man. I know you're getting rolling here, so
let's go.
Drop the mic. So after this question, just boom, drop the mic, hang up. And let's get off here. We don't even say goodbyes. Let's just see you later. Okay, if you could leave, the audience, leave kids looking up to you, wanting to be like, both of us are 6'3". You're probably 6'3". I'm probably like 6'1.5". But yes, no business playing in the NBA or anything. But we get to do what we love. We get to be mentors, life coaches to NBA players. If somebody's looking up to you, little J Law in your shoes. Leave them with a piece of advice. Drop the mic. Hang up the phone. Don't say goodbye. Get the heck out of here.
Man, if I can leave you guys with one piece of advice, don't take days for granted. Make sure that you don't put things off to someday, because someday doesn't fall on any day of the week.
Nice. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So that's one thing for me while I was growing up. I got in a motorcycle accident that almost ended my life.
Oh my gosh.
And I kept on putting off, asking my wife to marry me. So I take that back. Every day I would ask her to marry me jokingly. And I knew that she was going to be the one. I knew we were going to end up, getting married together, but I just kind of joked around about it because I was just going to wait, till, she got done with college and we were able to find, a little bit more stability. And when that event happened, I realized that life is so fragile. It's so short, and you never know when your day is. And you can keep putting something off till someday. I can get better someday. I can, do this for my career. I can follow my dreams someday. And then that someday is stripped from you. So you got to make sure that you put things on your calendar. Monday through Sunday never has a someday. So get that down so that way you can make it happen.
Dude, that is so good. Get out.
I'm out.
Big time thank you to J Law for coming on the Game of Life podcast. Wow. I hope you are juiced up right now. If you're not juiced up, I don't know what's wrong with you. You grab another cup of coffee and juice yourself up. J Law bringing it. How cool is that to see some of the best NBA players coming to J Law to learn from him? But not just that, but seeing what type of people these guys are because of Jordan, because of him pouring into them and they pouring into him. Seeing Klay Thompson, the person that he is, walking in the gym with a ton of kids and just being so respectful, so caring, so giving. Carmelo Anthony, one of the best offensive players of all time, coming to Jordan, who Jordan had learned from him, but Carmelo's coming back to learn from him. And he didn't even mention it, but Steve Nash came to learn from him. ESPN featured him as the top trainer. And the cool thing is, that's not what defines Jordan. Jordan's defined by who he is being his relationships with his family, with his wife, his kid, with the Lord, and just being so driven by a passion and a mission for something bigger than himself, not caring about the comparison game of look at me, or driving his brand due to egos, but pouring into others, and then he is receiving by pouring so much genuine servanthood into others. Just a breath of fresh air to have Jordan Lawley on the podcast. Super blessed to have him as a close friend and someone I work with a lot. So I encourage you all out there to go check out Jordan Lawley. Check out all that he is doing. Just see the inspiration he is to thousands of kids, to NBA players. And just remember, too, someday isn't going to happen. It doesn't just happen. There's never going to be the perfect situation. There's never going to be the perfect scenario or the perfect time for something to take place. Someday is now.
You make that someday. It's not a day on the week that you wait for. That's just an excuse to continue to procrastinate and put off whatever your passion, your goal, your drive is. Someday is right now, and you make it happen. Game of Lifers, check out everything in the podcast notes. Leave a 5-star review. Please go to iTunes and do that. That would be awesome. If you have 10 seconds to do so, I'll buy you a cup of coffee. I'll buy you some of Jordan's less than 1%er burnt ends. But that will help us continue to have great guests like Jordan Lawley, grace the Game of Life podcast. All you Game of Lifers out there, have a great week. Thank you so much for the support. Spread the good news. Leave me some kind of question, some kind of comment, whatever it might be. I want to hear from all of you out there. Remember, life's a journey, a super fun, exciting, awesome journey. Enjoy it. Game of Life, David Nurse, signing off.